How are you? How's it going today? I hope you're having a peaceful, loving day. It's raining here in California. Like, it's raining. They said it never rains in Southern California. Not true. I'm living proof. And you know what? I don't even mind because I actually enjoy the solace, the putting on the warm clothes, and just kind of being here in my body. So, how are you guys today? Let me know in the comments where you're seeing me from because this is live. It's Spiritual Coach Ari Mac live. I'm not on K4HD.com. I'm coming to you live on my YouTube. And we got some stuff to go over. Hopefully, it'll help you as well. Hey, Miss Pixie Mama. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're warm wherever you are. Now, the sun, the moon, and Pluto. Sun, Mercury, moon. Yeah, sun, Mercury, moon. Have to go over my notes. Are all in Aquarius. Oh, you calling from Burbank? Yo, hey, hi. Okay. And Aquarius rules humanities. And then we got Mars in Cancer going backwards. So let me address the elephant in the room. The Mars is how we live, how we work, how we deal. Hey, Miss D, Miss Danny, thanks for joining us. It's how we deal, right? And with Mars going backwards in Cancer, Mars rules Aries normally, which is the god of war. Cancer, which is the water baby, look crabby, rules the home and family. They're both cardinal signs, which means they never stop, but they do it in a different way. Aries is more action, get it done. Cancer is more water based. They want to kind of go over a thing and go backwards. So if you feel like some things from your past may be popping up, war at home, war at home, yeah, it can be. It can feel like a little bit of a war because with Mars going backwards, which it very rarely does. You guys, it does not happen that often. Hey, Alan Beauty Pro, thanks for joining. So, what are your signs? Put your sign in the comments below, and I'll try to give a little tidbit for each one of you guys because it's a lot. Oh, it's Miss Giselle. You're so pretty. Protect your home and move forward always. So, we got Mars in Cancer, which is normally ruled by Aries, going backwards in the Sun of Cancer. So, and your Pisces got it. So, with that particular position, it makes you nostalgic for home, for security, and it makes you want to fight for it. Okay? So, you may have to revisit some old insecurities about how you wanted things to be and then how they really are. I mean, that's always the booger bear, isn't it? The fantasy versus the reality. Cancer. Okay. Taurus. Okay. Cool. Got you guys. So we got earth and water. Perfect. So I got something for you guys at the end. So basically, with this positioning, like I have one client, right? Because there's a lot of conjuncts. Conjuncts means the planets come together and they have to work together. Even if the elements don't work, they're forced to work together. And I'll give you an example of that a little bit later on. But when we have this kind of conjunct with Mars in Cancer, Sun in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, it's a lot of water and a lot of air. So you're going to be very emotional and intellectually. You got to really pay attention to what you're affirming to. I'm going to say it again. You really need to watch what's coming out of this because whatever you say is going to manifest here. Make sense? Because Cancer is a powerful sign, always has been. Have you ever tried to crack a crab? It's a bitch. Now, once you get in, they're sweet as can be. My first love of my life was a Cancer. I thought I was going to marry him, have a bunch of kids. Didn't work out because he wanted way too many children. I could only produce so many. He wanted like a half a dozen. I said, I'm sorry, my uterus can't do it. But we're still, cool. He got what he wanted. I got what I wanted. We nothing but love for each other. Okay. But when you deal with Mars and Cancer, you're going to have some incidents come up, guys. They are. And that's just because that energy is making you go backwards. This is the hidden power of astrology. It's powerful. And it has a lot of notes. Now, of course, we don't pay attention to all of them. I do, because as an astrologer, as an affirmation worker, as a spiritual life coach, all those elements make up my database. I have over 500 people in my database and growing. Okay. And those are the birthdays that I pull from when I look at the overall chart. So if you want to be a part of that, you got to do a couple of things. You got to participate. So we do have a program coming up. and it's the astrology guidance program. It's going to be $9.99 to intro. Then it's going to be $19.99 a month, and it's going to be on a private YouTube channel. Yeah, so we can talk and interact, and I can look more at your chart in general. And if you want more, you can always do a one-on-one or a natal. We have a lot of different products and services available for us. But what I want you guys to understand that you have the power. And I'm trying to give it to you in a way that is palatable for you wherever you are. Okay? Because Spirit hears everything. God knows what we're going through, and nothing's new under the sun, not a goddamn thing. It's all happened before. And it will probably happen again. It just depends on how we set everything up. So, with this particular position, and we had a full moon, and I'll go over full moons in the group later, but full moons are about growth and, right? Full moon was in Leo. Leo is our egos, guys. That's our pride. That's how we imagine ourselves. Aquarius is our humanities, how we should do things, how we should put things out. So when you have those two signs going against each other in a new moon, full moon type of situation, then it's time for you to slow down and listen to what you're doing. Use your voice. You're powerful. Use it. Well, absolutely, Miss Pixie Mama. Because at this particular point, I'll tell you a story. I have quite a bit of Leos and fire signs in my life. And one particular lady who I love to pieces, been knowing her for 20 years, she called me last night. And been knowing her for 20 years, so I know her storyline very, very, very well. Well, there's been a man in her life that she has followed since college. College, guys. You know that college love? He was the standard, right? The standard of how she graded every man in her life. Every single dude. Well, he got married, had kids. They didn't get together in college because she moved to California. He stayed back east. Finally, he ended up moving to the West Coast, but he was married with children. They stayed friends. I've heard about this man so many times over the years, it's not even funny. Well, in this last year and a half, during the pandemic, him and his wife separated, and they finally divorced. So my friend is like, bet, it's time for us to try. It's time for us to put the energy in. And her Mars is in Cancer. Okay? So she thought, since he's free, I'm free, children are grown, we're in our 50s, we can do what we want to do. So she steps to him and wants to spend time with him. Now, this is that Mars retrograde. She felt comfortable with him. She's known him over half her life. He's been nothing but a love muffin, and he always spoke so highly, like so beautifully. And if they had been together, all the things that could have happened. I mean, he sold her. So they get together for lunch, dinner. I can't specify which one. And she lays her cards on the line. She lays them out like, we've always talked about it. We've always thought about it. It's never happened. We have a chance now, right? I'm single, you're single. You know what he tells her? You know what he said? He said, due to the fact that he wasn't that man anymore, he felt that he would be better on his own. And whatever he's told her in the past, that's not what happened in his life. So let's just be friends. And she says, okay, we can do that. Then went on to say that he's in love with the woman who's 15, 20 years younger than him, that totally reminds him of her. Ouch. Can we say ouch? That shit hurt. I heard it in her voice. Not only did he reject her after all the years of there been bantering and what ifs and if we could have, all that happy, wonderful shit. But then he turned around and told her he was in love with somebody that was a better version than her. In no unspoken terms, younger than her. She's a Leo. Can I say this hurt? This hurt. I had to stay on the phone with her for at least 45 minutes as she processed what happened. I mean, we're supposed to be in love. We're supposed to be friends. He's supposed to be honest. Where did this chick come from? The whole gambit. And she's still processing. Then I have another client. Been dating a guy, or had been dating a guy for 7 years, 6 or 7 years. I thought they were, I thought it was done. He said she was beautiful. He said she was the one. They were dating exclusively the whole nine. But he wanted to start taking more trips. He was retired already. He retired early because he could. She had not retired, so her timetables was still built based on her work schedule. He decided to go to the Philippine Islands. Now, while he was over there, who knows what the heck happened, but her spider senses said it wasn't good. So when he got back to town, this is like a year and a half ago, he stopped calling her. And you know what she did? She stopped responding. She stopped reaching out. She stopped trying to find out what's going on. Because the number one thing you have to remember, if you're doing all you can do and you don't get a response, that's an answer too. Yeah. It may be the answer you like, but that's a clear-cut answer that you're not a priority for that day, for that person. So we go through the healing process. She gets her candles. She comes to meditation class. We're doing sessions at least once a month just for her to heal her heart because it was 6 years. 6 years with the man she thought was going to be a long-term relationship. So everything she did was toward committing to him, even though they lived in separate places, they had separate lifestyles, everything was separate, but she thought they were coming together. So we spent at least 6 months on the heel. Like I said, meditation classes, affirmation, candles, the whole nine. So she's finally ready. You know what? I'm ready to, try this again. I'm ready to start dating. And she goes back out, starts meeting new people, the whole nine. Guess who pops up as soon as Mars goes in retrograde? Uh-huh. Mr. Man. Now, she doesn't answer him. Now, he texts her. He calls her. And I don't think he left messages at her house, but he keeps texting her once a week. Why won't you respond to my calls? Have I done something? Do you want to go out for lunch? Now, because she took a step back, you guys, because Mars isn't Cancer, she got a chance to think about the overall health of their relationship. And guess what she determined? It wasn't that good. He's only asking her out now because when they were together, it was like pulling teeth to go somewhere because he was cheap. Believed he should eat at home to save money, which is fine by yourself. But if you're in a couple relationship and the other person is working, you got to either prepare a meal for them or you got to talk to them about what they want to eat. So they went out with her a lot on her dime. Yes, she paid for it because she was hungry. But see, now she doesn't care about that. See, now she's just dating, going out, and just trying to deal with people and enjoy the quality of her life. But she's been calling me saying he's now increased because it's Valentine's. Yeah, and on Valentine's, when they were together, they had some bomb-ass Valentines. I'm going to tell you right now. Very romantic. She's a very sweet lady. Her Mars, I mean, she's an Aries, so she is a sun sign Mars person. So there was always activities, always opportunities. But now those are gone. Yeah, and this happened year before last. This is when his dissension into doo-doo land began. So now he's calling her, you guys. Now he'd actually picked up the phone and called her. And she's like, what do I do? I said, don't answer. There's nothing to answer to. He's not apologizing. He's not saying he's sorry. He's not holding any accountability. He just wop, 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 wop. Because he wants her time. He wants her time. He wants to steal her time away from somebody else who could give her what she wants so that he could sit there and talk about all the things he will change and all the things he will do. Because we've been through the dance before, and I had to advise her, let it be. Now, she's been more astonished that he keeps calling and texting and emailing. I expect him to send flowers tomorrow if he had any sense. Now, she's not taking him back. He broke her heart. Have you ever had a heartbreak? You ever had that reality that somebody you love does not love you the same way? It sucks, doesn't it? That's what she went through. But I had to bring it back to her. Mars is in Cancer. He's now remembering all that homey stuff that they did. She helped him redecorate his house. Went to Home Depot to help him pick out the paint for his bathroom limber. I mean, you're talking about connected, thinking, hey, you know what? He must really care about me if he wants me to be a part of this. And guess what? Yeah, right, Danny? Light those candles. He didn't really want her to be a part of, or so he thought. But see, they think the grass is always greener on the other side of the septic tank, right? You are the green grass. You are the most incredible thing they could ever run across, period. So now he's in that begging stage because he's lonely and he's an older man. And it's so hard to meet people who understand him, who have his background, who knows what he's talking to when he's referring to different events. And you know what she's got? She's got less of a headache because she's not trying to talk to him. She's not trying to figure out what he's doing. She's moving right along into where she needs to be. And that's what you need to do with Mars and Cancer. It's revealing. But with Pluto, Mercury, and the Sun all being Aquarius, you got to think about your truth. Now, I'm going to break this down in my affirmation group, my astrology guided group, because we got to talk each week about every single sign and how I see spiritually it's developing and what direction you should go in for your own well being. Now, I know in this group we have, I'm writing this down so I don't forget, we got a Cancer, a Pisces, a couple of Tauruses, if I'm correct. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you guys one little tidbit for each one of you guys before I end tonight. But the power of astrology is it gives you that hidden secret passcode information, right? Because it actually gives you a little bit of a heads up. And if you know the power of your affirmations, if you even believe in affirmation, because they're a form of a prayer, all right, you have to decide, what am I affirming for? Because despite whatever's put in front of you, chemically, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Like the first understanding, the first realization of something always sucks. Always. I remember my brother died. The first thing I said to my mother was, no, you're lying to me. Why are you telling me this bullshit? She was telling me the truth. I went into denial because that's what we do. Then you got to go into revealing and then acceptance and finally the peace, if you can get that far. But those steps take time, guys. Take practice. That's why I'm a coach. That's why I'm a spiritual coach. My people do well. My average client stays with me about 15 years. Why? Because it takes time to develop what you're asking for, because it's got to come in a way that only you will understand. And that's my expertise, is tuning into you specifically. The astrology is my tool to getting into the nitties and gritties of why you do what you do and how you can grow from it. Then you sprinkle in some astrology, affirmations, and some aromatherapy. Baby, you just set yourself up for success. I know because I've seen it done over and over and over again. But you have to use it. You have to participate in it. Success doesn't come overnight. Mental well-being, and let me just say, because I'm living in the United States right now, we're going through such a period that we have to hold the line of positivity, period. Because the bad behavior that's being displayed will be dispersed very soon. Give it to right after May. Why? Because it's bad behavior and it will not be rewarded. Nobody wants to be sodomized. Nobody wants to be a victim. Nobody wants to do their best and be told you're a second-class citizen. Nobody wants that. But you have power in how you choose to deal with it. And that's first taking care of your mental well-being. Let's start with making sure you're getting that sleep. I read a report that the adult, that's anybody over 21, should get an average of 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. 7 being the minimum, 9 being the maximum a night. You know how many people in our world actually get that amount of sleep? Less than 2%. Less than 2% of the overall population gets the minimum and maximum hours every night. So how is your mind and body supposed to reset? How are you supposed to grow through this? How are you supposed to learn? How are you supposed to engage with some sort of understanding because of all the white noises coming at you? So you got to self-soothe. You got to own that process because ain't nobody going to give it to you. No, sorry, Bob. They will let you drive yourself crazy. And less than 2% of our whole population in the whole wide world gets that. That's mind-blowing and extremely sad. Why can't you sleep? Why can't you rest? Why can't you tell this and the body and the spirit and the mind, let's just breathe. Let's just breathe. Why can't we do that? One of my things is I see that people are trying to do everything that we were taught that was outside of ourselves under what's considered normal. What the hell is normal now? Do you know what normal is? How do you define normal? I've had clients that have not had a rosy childhood. I'm not talking all walks of life. White, black, green, yellow, straight, gay, doesn't matter. Their parents weren't stellar. Even though society said they should have been, they weren't. So there's a lot of things that they didn't get. Proper nutrition, proper sleep, knowing their value, having support in those critical times of your childhood. They didn't have that. Some of them have been victimized sexually, mentally, sociologically, every which way. And some of them, because of their gender, have not even been allowed to progress because they were expected to do less. They were expected not to go far. So if you're one of those people that have felt that pain and have had to reinvent yourself and come up with your new identity, which is to me your true identity, what's in here, what's deep down in your heart, then follow me. Like me, subscribe to my programs, come to my meditation classes. I'll help you find the right candle because it is something you need to resonate with because they're not for everybody. My candles aren't cheap and they're all handmade. But I can tell you this, the people who do use them and get involved with them do very well because it's part of their self-soothing. And let me say, I didn't set out to do this. It was not my intention to be a candle maker or a spiritual life coach. I just happened to have been born in a time when spirituality didn't come with such a high price. I was reared in the church because that's what you did. I loved astrology because I thought my brother was trying to kill me. And my empathic psychic ability, I had somebody around me to say it was okay. You know, my grandmother gave me permission to be. She says, you're just going to pick up on things. You're going to see things. And that's okay. But not everybody's got to agree with you. Not everybody's going to believe in what you say. And I tell the story. She had a beauty shop. I was probably like 7, 8, shorty, not too tall. And a lady came in, and I was, looking up into her belly, and I saw her heartbeat. I thought it was cute. And I said, baby. This lady said the nastiest things to me, guys. I mean, she was so incredibly mean to me and told my grandmother that I was blah, 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 blah. And I cried because I didn't understand, like, what the hell? Did I do something wrong? And that's when my grandma sat me down and said, listen, just because you see one truth doesn't mean the other person is ready to accept that truth. Now, in that particular case, that lady's husband had been gone offshore for over 6 months. There's no way in the hell she should have been pregnant. Mm-hmm. Yet it happens because we're human. So I say this because the power of your words, they have no bounds. And the processes that you go through, the anxiety, the fear, the what the hell, that's okay too, because that's your process and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, you should own that. Put it on a little mug like this is my process. Hey, Miss Martha, so that you don't pretend like everything's good when it's not, guys. You got to own sometimes when it's just hard. Now, of course, be around safe people. Don't put yourself around people that's going to make you feel worse. There's always one of those. Family, friend, coworker. There's always an asshole in the group, isn't it? Always that one who shows up and got nothing to say but negativity. So with this Mars in Cancer going retrograde, which it ends on the 23rd of this month. So thank goodness it's not going too long. But with the sun, moon, and Pluto all being Aquarius, it's time for you to pay attention to what you came down here to do, like what the universe has given you. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has abilities. Everybody has something they do very, very, very well. Tune into that. And don't tune into it because you want to make money off of it. Tune into it for your own emotional solace, for your own emotional growth. So you can stop doing crazy shit and start listening to yourself to calm down and to get focused. That's why I love social media so much, which Aquarius rules, by the way. So it's going to be expanding more. So if you have a business idea, a suggestion or program, start developing it. And don't be afraid of the failure part of it, because anytime you learn something, guys, there's always a curve of things that may go a little left or a little right, because that's just a part of the learning process. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Right, Miss G? So as we go through this process, especially if you try to follow the news and keep up, make sure you're doing everything in your community, in your immediate circle, to be of light, to be of service. And I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, here in California, the eggs have been stupid high. I mean, and I knew it was going to happen, especially with this new administration. I'm a business owner. I've anticipated that. So I just stopped buying other things to make room for the things I want. That's what you do. That's what my grandma taught you. You don't sit there and nah, 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 nah. You look at your budget, you make some concessions, you let go of certain things. Now, a couple of priorities I will never let go of is my proteins, okay, because I like my eggs, I like my shrimp. I'm getting away from the meat because I'm thinking going vegan in the next couple of months here, just for my own personal well being. But nevertheless, I prefer food that's fresh, that's well made and fresh. Doesn't have to be a lot, it can be simple but well made. So I always got this inspiration to go to Chino to get eggs. Well, Chino has an egg farm, you guys. It's like a little bit outside of LA. It's in San Bernardino County, but guess what? The eggs are fresh. You get them in different brown, white, and they're So I listened to my intuition. It said, take your ass to Chino and get yourself some eggs. Because I'm baking now. I'm making bagels. I'm making my own cheese. I'm getting into making sauces just because I don't need to buy all that stuff, and I can control the sodium level and the other doo doo that's in it. I mean, I went to buy orange juice, and it was one company I preferred called Simple because it was all coming out of Florida. Well, now if you look at the container, it says see the neck to see where your oranges are coming from. So you turn that around, and guess what? It's coming from Brazil and some from Florida. I didn't sign on for that. So I'm gonna have to do some alternative stuff and probably start cubing my orange juice up in little cubes so I can just start, freezing that and having that advantage. This is what you do. You get creative. You think outside the box. Necessity is the mother of invention. And that's where greed and control and all that other stuff people try to get you to do, that has no bearing on you if you don't want it. It has no bearing on you if you don't allow it. See, it's all about choice. It's all about choice. And you don't have to protest loud and tell everybody. Just take care of yourself. Eat right. Get your sleep. Drink your water. This is water in here. Is that too much to ask? And I know I've said this before, and I'll continue to say this: 64 ounces of water in a 24-hour day window. That's from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Hopefully, it's decent. You gauge by your own personal, needs. But even an extra 8 ounces of water will help clarify and move all that gook out of your system. Because, guys, there's a lot of gook out there, and it's all up in your system. Okay? Now, we will be having meditation class at the end of the month, the last Sunday of this month. I do it twice a month. So definitely consider joining. And meditation is quiet. Nobody talks. It's through Zoom. And if you like, you can get a copy of that. And that's for your permanent records. But you got to work the program because the program can't be done without you. We're in co-creation with the universe. Co-creation. That means it's not just us. It's also the universe going around. A lot of shit stuck up in there. Oh, baby, if we actually cop to the fact that we ain't nothing but a vessel, right? And we can control the vessel to the best of our abilities, but shit is shit. Okay? And I have a friend, Pisces friend. Every time we have a conversation with her talking about shit, I don't know how the hell we get there. I'm going to be honest with you. I told her one day, I don't want to talk about shit. And yet, it keeps happening. I listen to them as you sent me. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Olivia. Because you do get a copy. If you register for class, I have a library of meditations I've done over the years. So thank you, Miss Olivia. But it's true. Me and this one friend, I don't know how we do it, but we always end up talking about shit. And we've even made a conscious and just we at the beginning of the meeting, lunch, whatever, no shit talk. We're not talking about shit. And eventually she said something about her medications or something about her not being able to sleep. And the next thing I know, we're talking about shit. And I just find that to be the funniest thing. But you know what? The reality is that shit is part of life. You know, you got the high and the low and the in between. And you know, that's the part where we have to own that shit happens. Shit happens. So, you know, I use my database to gauge the astrology world. So if you want to be a part of that database, you know, go to candlesbyari.com, subscribe here. You go to Spiritual Coach Ari Mac.com because we do have the Manifestation Bootcamp 1 and 2, which I'm going to be putting on sale next month because it's my birthday, to give you a chance to delve in. Because it takes a lot of focus, guys, to really listen to my clients, to my friends, to my family, and stay in tune with myself. Because you know what? Sometimes, I mean, even I have to like take a break. That's why I'm not on k4hd.com anymore. It was extra work that honestly, I'd rather come here, deal with you guys directly, and let's have a relationship. I'm doing all the other social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know about X. I'm just not into it. It's not my thing. And TikTok's fun. It's fun. You can see Candles by Ari, Spiritual Coach over there. But this is where I want to be. This is where we can interact, we can talk, we can have a conversation. And this astrology guided group, man, you guys are going to be so impressed because it's not like a private chat book, Facebook page. This is a private YouTube channel. So not a lot of people are going to have access to this. And you do have to keep up your membership. But in that, if you do have questions, general questions about certain things that are happening in astrology, I'll give you heads up about retros. Mercury retrograde is real. I think that helped promote mental imbalance if you're not careful, because retros ain't no joke, guys. I'm sorry. I think the universe thumps on everybody's head even if you think you knew something. They go, okay, let's revisit this one more time. And what the can you do about it? Remember, we're just a speck in the big scheme of things. So why don't we own being a beautiful speck, being a smart speck, and have some fun doing it? Who the hell wants to look all crotchety and old and fat and pissed off and you ever been around those people? It's never an ending battle. I mean, for me personally, I just shut up and try to move quickly. What do you do? When you're faced with people who you have to interact with, who you know going to be putz boy, putz girl, which is usually par for the course, how do you manage and maintain? Just think about that. Now, I'm also going to include in this channel some of my recipes and some of my anecdotes. You get to see some behind the scenes. My daughter's working on a theme for the show. This is going to be really, really nice. And it's something more of a labor of love for me because I know how important it is to have that connection on a regular basis. I know how important it is to keep that balance. I was fortunate to have those hooks, those grounding people in my life and in my existence. And my legacy is to leave rich information, intellectual properties, if you want to call it, that years, decades from now, my children, my children's children can read, listen, and enhance themselves. Yes, I am working on a book. I am. But I'm a very action-oriented person, so I'm waiting for certain collaborations to come into pass because I believe in the divine design. I'm walking in the divine design right now as we speak. Are you? Do you want to? Are you ready to own your power? Are you ready to dig in and get past the insecurities and the doubt and, for all intents and purposes, deal with shit? Sorry. I had to take it. Because sometimes we do. We got to go there. We got to deal with it. So let's try to make this a little bit better by starting with our own mentals. Now, for you guys that are here, my Cancer, Pisces, and my Tauruses. I'm going to start with my Tauruses because you guys, I know Uranus has been sitting on you. It's going to be there for a little bit. Uranus makes you more Aquarius, which means you may be doing things that you normally would not do. Don't be afraid of that, Taurus. I know you don't like to do too many things that you don't feel like doing in the comfort zone and the fixed, and I get all that. But I promise you, the universe is trying to lead you into a better path than you could possibly imagine. Because with all that Aquarius, your intellect is off the chain. So if you write or do speeches or have to deal with people, speak with authority. Just slow down and own your power. Whatever you got to say, Taurus, say it with authority, say it with conviction, and watch how people respond to you. Because they do respect you, but you got to own it. Okay? Especially at work. It's not so much not taking shit. I know I'm playing off that word today, but also making sure that there's a clear line that that ain't my shit. Make sure you're covering your CYA through emails, all that good stuff. Now, for my Cancers, Mars right now is making you really fight for what you want. So if you've had a battle or been dealing with a challenge, I would suggest you spend a little bit more time in prayer and meditation because the answer is sitting right in front of you. It may not be the preferred answer, Cancer, because I know you want to do things in your own way and how you prefer, but trust the process that if you're praying on something and then the universe puts that particular thing in your face, that's your message. And you can ask for a confirmation. Okay, if you really don't believe or trust, because this is what the whole program is going to be about: is trusting yourself, learning to look at your intuition, because it has no reason to mislead you. So, Cancer baby, water babies, slow down. But if you keep getting hit with the same thing and the answer keeps coming up in a way you don't like, take the hint. Yeah, take the hint. Don't pretend like the universe ain't talking to you, because they are. All right. And from my Pisceans, it's my Pisces baby. Two fishes swimming in opposite direction. You're mutables. So this is a real good opportunity because the sun's going to be going into Pisces next week. And we got a lot of Piscean energy. Neptune's still in Pisces. Saturn's still in Pisces. So we're going to have this Aquarius Pisces thing happening, which is which is air and water come together. So Pisceans, listen to your dreams. We've had some configurations that have limited our finances for the last 10 years. I say we because I'm a sun sign Pisces, March 8th. Hey. And I do accept gifts. Look on my website for email addresses. Just, hook me up. I'm good. Cash, credit, Visa, MasterCard, American Express. I take all of it. Just, okay. You can sell me. But our change is here now. So don't get caught so much on the outside. And pray for those who think they want power. Pray for those who think they want power. Because it has to be a person that doesn't really understand power that really is better with power. And I say that because when Solomon, two ladies came with one baby. Both had just given birth. And Solomon looked at both of the ladies. And you can confirm if it's Solomon, because I'm just talking off the top of my head. I think it was Solomon. I think it was Job. It was Solomon. He said, you know what? Let's just cut the baby in half. And guess who spoke, you guys? The real mother. The real mother said, no, let the child go with her. And the other lady smirked. And you know what Solomon said? Give it to her. Because a true mother would make that sacrifice for that child to survive. And that's what I'm talking about. The universe hears you. They know what you're going through. They know what you have to be, but you can't fathom the opportunities and the blessings that are all around you because you can't see them. You're doing this linear. The universe is 360 degrees all around us 24/7, 7 days a week, and it never leaves us. So we have to trust this process, starting with following and subscribing. The program is awesome. I'm working on the details. Please forgive me for about being super, super fast because I'm one of those people that does it well. And when I do it well, it never ends. I don't know how to stop. So once I put that flip on, once that switch is going, it's going. And you have the same abilities too. Once you get in your zone, once you own what it is that you came down here to do for self, just for self. You're not trying to compete with anybody. You don't have to fight with anybody. What's yours by divine right cannot be taken from you. Spirit goes before you, making ease and successful your way. But you got to do the work, which is listening and using choice of action, your free will, to make better choices. Now, I suggest you invest in yourself with the group that I'm putting together. because it will be recorded and you do have access to it. And let me say something, that's a treat in itself. To have access to information after the fact, during, and before, come on, how much more can the universe give you? And staying in gratitude. If you're listening to this show right now, then you're blessed, highly favored, under grace in a perfect way. And so it is, yes, Miss D. Because the universe does not do anything accidentally, you guys. Everything has a divine design. And if you can follow that, instead of letting your nervous energy push and push and push, because you know how we are once we want something, it's different when it's a flow. The flow is you're following intuition and it's a flow. Your ego is going to push and it's going to want what it's wanting and it's not going to stop until it gets it. I've seen relationships come to pass just because the person wanted the other person. Not because they were ready to be in a relationship, because they thought, oh, I'm going to get him and he's going to treat me like he treats her. And guess what? Didn't happen. Yeah, she got him, but he didn't feel the same way he felt for his other companion. Why? Because they didn't have the same relations. They didn't have the same rhythms. It was just different. And eventually you look up and go, who am I fighting for here? Why am I here? Well, when it's natural, you can fight and argue and disagree, and it never takes away from that love, that friendship, that respect. And isn't that what we want? To be able to respect ourselves, have different points of view, and not be crucified because we don't follow some status quo or something that someone said we had to be. So, with all of this Mercury and all this Aquarius and all this energy, take some time out and take care of you. Spend some time listening to you. As I said, we have meditation classes twice a month, all through Zoom. We record, so you do have a copy of it if you register. Spend some time listening to your heart and not being so dismissive of those little nuances that lead you to your bigger path, because you're the only one that can help or hinder you. And Spirit loves you, and I do too. Please check out my website, candlesbyari.com. Those candles came from you, my clients, over the years. And each candle has a specific meaning with a specific affirmation and a specific fragrance that has worked. Now, every year fragrances change, so I do try to keep the same formula, but sometimes the formulas I get because of timing have developed differently. But I promise you the essential oils that go into it are magnificent and high quality. And everything is QC'd by me. So I'll make a commitment if you make a commitment. Come to my class, join my website, look for information. Actually have a free affirmation sheet that's on like the Candles by Ari if you want to download that. Just promise me you'll use it. Don't just take something and sit on it, guys. Take something and do something with it. Yeah? All right. I want to jump on here for at least 45 minutes because this is definitely opening up for the new podcast. But at the same time, I miss you guys. I miss you guys. I love our interaction, and I want you to know you're the best. Simply the best. So, free affirmations available on the candlesbyari.com site. Spiritual coaching with arimac.com is also available with the Manifestation Bootcamp. The astrology guided program will be available this weekend. So by next weekend, it will be up and available with the intro price. We are going to run a beta first. So if you want to be a part of that, please let me know. After that, the regular price will be $19.99 a month, which is nothing. It's less than a couple of bucks a week to get information to feed your soul, to feed your mental well-being. Just like you put gas in the car, you got to put gas into your spiritual well-being, self-esteem, self-value. I love you and all you do. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Olivia. And I love you guys. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for participating. And more than anything else, I thank you for your love. Let us not let outside energies destroy our faith in ourselves and humanity. Hold that line by staying positive in the midst of dumb shit. Know that Spirit is not forsaking you. And know that I love you and I keep you in my prayers every single night. All right? Thank you guys once again for listening. I will be live Thursdays, and you can always catch the rebroadcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And stay blessed. Bye.